And welcome back to Pints and Pals. I'm your host, Jeremy, and with me this evening we have Mike and Jason. How you boys doing this evening?
Doing great. I'm a little nervous about the upcoming beer.
Yeah, so we're having a Volcano Sour by Ashland or Aslin. Or...
Aslin.
Sure,
Like the lion
Right.
from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
The only thing about the Witch of the Wardrobe is a really bad joke that I can't say on this podcast. I'll tell you guys off the podcast.
All right. Now I'm curious.
I said it to one of my coworkers a long time ago.
This is it's volcano sauce.
Volcano sauce.
Yeah, that's a sour ale brewed with blackberries, blueberries, milk sugar, and vanilla. 6%.
Creamy and sweet and who knows
Thick.
what else. I've never heard of this company. I don't do well with fruited sours. I find them to be too acidic. I can't even swallow them.
I got 2 glasses because
I just straight all over my desk. Nice.
My wife is going to drink the lion's share of this one, I think.
Well, if you don't do well with it, Jeremy.
I got your joke.
Oh, I didn't mean that. That was just happens. Oh, it's not as thick as it shows on the thing, unless it's settled.
That's the super one.
Oh.
Yeah, they do have a new one out called the Super Volcano Sour.
Forgot to spill over my.
But yes, if you sours are not your thing, definitely don't feel that you need to drink the whole thing.
Ooh,
it smells good. Yeah, but it is going to be.
So Mike and Jason are turn beet red after like 3 drinks.
You think so? Probably right.
All the wheat that's in there? Oh yeah. It's a lot of wheat.
Ooh.
Clean up my mess.
Oh boy. It tastes a little bit like a cigarette butt.
No.
I'm getting like a smoke, like I smoked a cigarette. I mean, not that I've ever done that.
No, I definitely get a lot of the berries for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of
That's a weird.
I don't
That's
know
a
if I can
weird
swallow
flavor.
I'm a vote right now. I'm impressed I can swallow it, so I'm sure I'll probably change later on because usually they're really too sour. This is not like. So there's one out of Ohio called like Orchard something or other. That's viscous and the pH on is like 3 or something like that. It's ridiculous, and I couldn't find any information on this beer to give me any sense of what the pH was. Actually, it says, it says on the can, doesn't it?
I've never seen them say
6%
like
by
pH.
Do what?
I've never seen them like give like a pH.
Yeah. Definitely would like to know what the pH is, though. I'm just kind of curious.
I don't have any pH strips.
It is not as sour as I was expecting it to be. It doesn't like close my back of my throat like some of the stuff I've had.
I felt that the ghosts we had was was more sour than this. This I can drink. That one was tough to get through for me. This one I'm also leaning towards down. I like fruited sours. This one is not my favorite. It's still good. It's very sweet for a sour. At least you can get like the sweetness from the berries, but it's not. It's definitely a sour.
Probably get from the milk sugar too.
Yeah, that's true. It's probably the milk sugar. I'll get something else from the milk sugar too.
Yeah, I think that's the milk sugar is
You're
probably
lactose intolerant.
Yeah, the milk sugar is probably what's taking a little bit of the bitterness out, or the tartness. I think that would sweeten it up without really kind of pulling back. But I'm definitely a thumbs down as well. I would never. I wouldn't buy a sour. I've had and I still want to try some, but like I don't even think I could do a sample size of a sour typically. So yeah. So in the first 5 minutes. We are thumbs down across the board.
That's it. Good night. Cheers. We're out.
We're done.
We're done. That was a quick episode. Good job, guys. So they also consider this, like, one place is considering this to be a pastry sour, and I guess probably because of the vanilla and the lactose that's in it.
So I went to their website, and their website is just it. It must be gimmicky because it's very much like an 80s themed, like the way they have their stuff, and it's very reminiscent in their website too. Like their website design is like from the 80s, back before internet existed. It's very just bold and in your face. I thought it was just like a place selling this beer that wasn't actually the website, because it wasn't as I don't want to say it wasn't as professional, because it's obviously done by professionals and they're run by professionals. I just felt like it was a little bit childlike in a way, but maybe it's geared. I don't know. I sometimes sexistly assume that sours are geared toward women. So weird. I think that I was wondering if that is like why they're more. I don't even know if it's girly or not. But yeah, it's
I like sours. I guess I'm a girl.
Well, so we haven't tipped our toes in that stuff yet, but you also have like sour saisons, which are kind of like, it just happens to be a byproduct of whatever yeast they use, and some of those I really like, but it's, I don't know how to describe it. I think it's more like it's acidic on the tongue, but it doesn't hurt. Like it doesn't give you like the weird lockjaw like some sours do.
Yeah, but what about a lambic? I mean, that's sour as hell. It's
yes. So that was I want to try a lambic. I've only had one before, and it was I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But the process of lambics being made is very fascinating. So talking about.
Yeah.
But these are kettle sours. Basically, they use like some type, either yogurt or some type of souring agent to get this to turn sour.
To me, this one kind of smells like the pink Starbursts. Like it kind of tastes and smells like it.
It smelled good. But it's definitely the if you don't like sours, it's not gonna be great.
Yeah, but it's not as bad. I've had I was gonna say I'm gonna put it at halfway too, because like it's not as bad as it's not as bad as some of the stuff I had even at what's the one in Ann Arbor? Holmes Brewing. That's like those things, and we were out in Grand Rapids somewhere, I think, and they had another place that was like it came out like a smoothie, and I'm just like, what is this? Like they say they won't typically put their stuff on tap because they end up having to clean the lines too often, so other places won't like host their beer, so they basically have to throw away their lines. It's like that's a weird thing.
Holmes is actually where the Holmes had a beer fest. They have a beer fest every year. Nucleate Festival. Granted, they've only had it like twice or three times now because of the pandemic. But the first year, 2019, I went there, and my buddy is from Virginia, which is where Aslin's from, and he was all excited because Aslin was going to be there. Didn't try this beer. They had a bunch of IPAs. They were pretty good. They make the Baby Shark beer, which is at the Nationals stadium, the baseball stadium.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, something. I don't know why they kind of embraced that there, but it was when I was living in Virginia. I didn't know about this brewery, and they weren't at the Brewing. Might not even been there when I was around, but yeah, I would have liked to have tried it. It's definitely on my list to go. I've been to the one in Pittsburgh. They're a newer brew pub to the Pittsburgh area. Their food situation has been weird. They like closed their kitchen, and they like wanted to like do it right, I guess. And since reopened, they do pizza or something. But yeah, when I went in there, it was a very weird vibe. Like it's very, maybe it has something to do with like the webpage, like Mike was saying, but it's very bright and everything in there. We went in at like 10 p.m. on a Saturday, and I went up to the bar to grab another beer, and like, oh, we're closing. And I'm like, okay, it's pretty early, but for a Saturday, and you're in the Strip. like the place where everyone is in Pittsburgh. But maybe they're just going through trying to learn the area, what they're trying to do in Pittsburgh. But
sure,
it's a cool place.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed the beers I've had.
When I was looking at it, they have 4 locations, mostly around Virginia and DC. Or there's 2 in Virginia, 1 in DC, and 1 in Pittsburgh. Well, that's kind of cool. I think that it's good to get like branching out and stuff, but so they must be relatively popular. Are all of their beers sours? I couldn't.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Double orange, starfish, and then they have a dipping in. I think this is my biggest pet peeve with the brewery market is that they're trying to come up with like clever names to name their stuff, but doesn't really give you an example of what it is. Like obviously they just can't call something like double whatever porter, because then everything would be called the exact same. But if you don't get like on the can, you get nothing like that explains what it is, just like some fancy logo and like a snippet on it. This one actually says what it is, which is nice. But like some of the breweries, when you're like walking down an aisle, you're like, I don't know what I'm looking for.
Oh yeah,
and then you have a case where like Founders changed their labels, so now you're just like, nope, don't even have any clue what I'm looking for now. So it's like I feel like they had some staples, and I don't know if like rebranding is just like, I mean that's what all corporations do. They just feel like it once they get acquired and move around, they just have to rebrand every like 10 minutes because they just don't have the right like people behind them. But then I'm just like, I don't think that that's a very good way to do business at all. It's like,
well, maybe they're taking the Costco approach, always changing things around, so you have to search them out, find them. You might think it's new, so you buy it again. Like, I've had this one before.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
Right, it's like when you look at a label and it says same great product, just new look or whatever, and you're like, well, I was looking for the old one and I bought some other brand because that one looked familiar enough for me to buy. So that's the kind of stuff that irks me when you're like, I'm very like,
Don't like change.
Yeah, I'm very old at this point, very set in my ways.
Right.
So how was your guys' week? Did you do anything fun, Jeremy?
See, I had a homebrew meeting a couple days ago. That was quite fun. Had a bunch of different tasty beverages. I'm trying to think of some that stood out. One of my homebrew buddies, he brews a lot of mead, so he brought in like coconut pineapple mead. He brought in a peach ginger mead. He brought in a blackberry mead, and what was the other one? Strawberry something mead, and they're all delicious. They're all really, really good.
So the coconut one, that doesn't that's not like a typical, like all the other fruits and stuff make sense, but the coconut lime sounds interesting.
Coconut pineapple.
Oh yeah, I don't like it anymore. But it still seems weird.
You're old enough to like the coconut and lime thing, right? You're like, right. you had the shirt on.
Yeah, put the lime in the coconut. I'm wearing it because it's festive for the it's Friday the 13th in October when we're recording this. So
yes, it is.
I have no idea when it's going to be aired, like months and months in the future. Sorry.
Could be. Happy birthday, Brandon. That's my son.
Happy birthday. It's my friend's Valin's. It's his birthday today too.
I put like, there you go.
What?
Links in the.
That's my final decision.
Oh, your final decision. You don't like it.
I just. No, but thank you for giving it to me. I'll drink some more.
You don't have to. No, like I said, sours are not for everyone, especially fruited sours. Like even the milk sugars do not agree with me, but I do just roll that die.
That's a good way to lose weight. So I mean,
good way to. It's a good way for me to sleep on the couch while the girlfriend gets mad at me.
Right. I'm trying to think what else did we have that was pretty good there. One of my other home brews, he had his version of American Pale Ale, but he used all of his own hops that he grew. So that was definitely interesting because a lot of people don't use fresh hops. Usually just use the palletized hops. It's just cheaper to buy that way. And that was pretty tasty. In Depot Street, I had it was called Super Pills. And it was pretty tasty too. It was The only thing I was missing was like that sulfur taste that most pilsners have. But other than that, it was a pretty good, delicious beer to go with my dinner that evening. How about you, Jason? What'd you do?
What did I do? Trying to think. It wasn't. It was recently. I went out with our buddy Tate's to Rapport. Had some good beers there. They usually have a good selection. And I know Tate's always buying like the rare stuff that they have behind the shelf or whatever. And he was waiting for them to tap some new Mike, it's one of the beers that you have for us.
Revolution?
No.
Bourbon County.
No. It's in our future episodes. It's not Dark Horse, but one of those.
Oh
my God, I can't think of it.
It's
like an imperial.
Yep. Okay. I got nothing.
Stop caring. Anyway, he wanted them to. They had like a keg of it. He wanted them to tap it, and they weren't doing it. So I was like, I gotta go, Tate's. I can't wait for them to open this thing. But no, that's about all. I haven't been busy. I guess I haven't made it out. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, I hung a TV in our basement, and I was like, oh, I'll measure it. Then we like looked where we wanted it. Then I was like, oh, well, it's a lot lower on the back of the TV. So then I like lowered it a little bit, and then it was too low. And I'm like, well, I already drilled a bunch of holes in the wall and hung this thing up. So that was a fun like day project.
You gotta get one of those shelves or the TV stands that you can move based on the size of your TV.
Yeah, I just was like, I wanted to do it because I'm just like, if I don't do it now, I'll never do it. And then today, I actually pulled the trigger on a 4-tap kegerator system. Well, Keyser, but nobody knows what the hell a Keyser is, so I have to say kegerator. I made Jeremy kind of point out most of the stuff. One of the things I had the neck or whatever the hell it's called that goes between, like, that goes into the system. The 4.5-inch one wouldn't come here until like the end of November or something. So I'm like, yep, I'll go with whatever the next one is. And I went down to 3, and they didn't have any of those either. So I went up to 5. Felt like that was safer than down to 3 because I don't know how. I feel like it's probably not that thick, but obviously it's just going to stick way into my fridge.
It's fine.
So it's a freezer, like a chest freezer. That's why you call it a Keyser instead of a kegerator. Well, it's a chest freezer, and you take the hinges off. I think we've talked about this before, but if you take the hinges off, you can, whatever the length of the hinges are, that's how big of a collar you make out of wood that goes around it. So then your lid sits down. So it's a very non-invasive. So you don't have to actually like cut into or drill through any kind of surface on there. So it's just a lot easier to kind of resell or do whatever you need to. But I got some cool tap handles and stuff, and I only bought two of the connectors for normal kegs, the ball lock keg, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna like that version, because there's like 10 different versions of them, and I'm like, they were like $30, and I was like, it's not really worth it to me, because I don't think I'm gonna have. I bought enough for 4, but I don't think I'm going to have a ton of them. And if I ever do brew something, I'll have a corny keg on there or something anyway. So I'll have to buy a different connector. So hopefully I got everything. I don't know yet.
Probably buy more Sankey connectors than I'd say then.
Right.
Especially if you buy the Bud Light and whatever one, the other one that you've had for like years that may or may not still be good.
That Goose Island should be good.
Yeah.
If not, well... Happy
still drinking it.
40th. I actually was thinking about that. I'm going up north.
2 years old, 3 years old.
It's from 2019.
Yeah.
2019, so it's 4 years old. I mean, only way to find out, tap it and see what happens. Tastes good, cool. Tastes like trash, and well, throw it away.
I have a bottle of 2014 Bourbon County, and I want to bring that to Mike's day after Thanksgiving extravaganza. Or no. 2 days after Thanksgiving, the
Saturday.
The game.
It's Satbab.
Yeah. Just because I feel like we should.
The Saturday after Thanksgiving, barrel-aged beers. That's what my Tate's and my parents and my wife and I all like get together with like like 4 or 5 barrel aged beers and then drink a giant mess of them.
But I'd like to bring that to it, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna not be good.
Yeah, I had. Well, I think it's okay. Those ones aren't as sweet, so I don't feel like it loses. It doesn't keep fermenting and doesn't lose it as much, but I think it's probably going to be very much raisiny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's always an exciting risk when you pop one open and it's like this barrel aged beer tastes like a sour, and then some people that are
chewy?
Like that don't know what it's supposed to taste like, they're like, I kind of like it. And they're like, no, it's like one of them we opened from Epic Brewing. All the ones we had from Epic were terrible, but the one we had, it was like it burned your tongue. It was like tingly and burned your tongue. And I'm like, there's no way. This is way bad. Like just getting it in my mouth, I'm like, I am gonna have the shits for like a week. It's kind of what I feel like with this.
Yeah. I think that's the thing you brought the barrel aged. One of my other homebrew buddies, he did the barrel aged. It was pretty good. It wasn't too bad at all. It was a little sweeter than I thought it was going to be, but it was pretty tasty. I was like 7-8 months old or something like that. But he did a really good job. Let's see. So potential homebrews. I ain't getting them. I would just go buy. I don't want to make a sour. For one, it can really screw up your equipment, and I don't want to screw up my equipment.
Makes sense.
Yeah, especially with because the lactobacillus can like just stick around for a long period of time. Then I have to change all my hoses out, and I throw away my fermenting bucket and all sorts of stuff. It'd be a lot of money, and I don't like them, so I'm not gonna do it. But that being said, there's kits out there. I'd probably just go to Northern Brewer. They have one that's called Funk, whatever.
Of course,
Funk,
it
fruit,
is.
sour, whatever. It was pretty neat though. So you buy the base of the kit, and then you would pick a puree to go into your fruit, or you can add your own fruits to it. So they have like you do mango or peach or cherry or whatever. It comes with I think you have to buy the lactobacillus the yeast strain separately. There's a few different ones out there you can get. I know you can use, I think it's called Good Belly, or it is a yogurt that you can use for lactobacillus because it has a little bit in there to begin with. And it's strange. So as you're brewing this, you have to keep your kettle on at about 100 degrees for a few days for this to actually start working. So it's not like I can just brew it like my normal brew time and be done with my brew day. I have to do this for multiple days and keep checking on it, and then I can bring it down to normal temperature and go about my day. I do know. I've watched a lot of people brew it and stuff like that. It's a little more involved. And
I mean, if you don't like them, there's no sense making stuff you're not gonna like.
Nope. Like I said, I would also have to replace a lot of my equipment though too. So that's another part that I want to fool with.
Oh yeah, you don't want to.
Would you be able to use it for brewing
just be sours only?
Yeah,
only sours. Yep.
I was like, is it just like I forget what they call those kind of parts that are like exchangeable. I spilled it. Oh, damn.
Jeremy still got.
I only have this much left.
I'm.
It's not like the other beers. I'm usually done by now.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go halfway. It's I think it's. I'd probably order it again if I went there. I would definitely order it again. I'd like to try it on tap. And yeah, I couldn't find a date on this can. Oh, I guess there's 2022.
I mean, if I was on tap and I could get a sample, I'd try it just to see what it tasted like. I wouldn't buy a pint of it.
Right.
At least get an idea. Because there's a local brewery that he does a lot of sours. I mean, some sours they just hurt. But I always get samples just to see what they taste like. Like, yep, nope, I'm good. I don't want that. I'll go with your farmhouse ale instead, which is sour anyways, but it's not as bad as the other crap is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would do. I would just buy a kit and just go with it from there. If you really, really like them, if not, just buy them.
You're right.
Right. I was gonna say, like, especially if it's gonna ruin your stuff, I wouldn't recommend brewing something as an experiment.
It does. I mean, it smells really good though. I just wish it tasted the way it smelled. So that's my gripe with ciders. Some ciders smell phenomenal. I mean, they smell so you taste them, nothing like the way they smell.
I've had it the other way around too, where they don't smell good, but they taste good, but I can't get past the smell.
Does it have like that rhino fart smell?
Sort of. Mine.
So that you can just let sit for like a good half hour and it'll degas and it'll be fine. But by then it's super warm.
Right. Open it.
So that
pour it into a cup. Put it in the fridge.
Yeah, that too.
So the whole fridge smells like farts.
Rhino farts.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you make hard-boiled eggs.
I don't mind those.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a middle. I would take a sip of somebody else's, and but I don't hate
your
it.
Wife.
Yeah, I don't hate it, so that's where I'm. I've had some that I just can't drink.
Well, you'll have to have your wife comment on the video what she thinks of it if you're gonna give her the rest of yours.
I don't.
No, not right. I meant Mike's. No,
you're right.
Because Angela likes sours, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious what she thinks.
I will have her comment on our 15th episode 15 of season 2. Because
I'm still definitely a thumbs down. Even though it's got warmer, got a little sweeter.
Yeah,
I still don't.
I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna find a sour that Jeremy will like.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
At least I'm willing to try. I'll try them all.
You guys found me
in person because
no.
Back to you. There you go. You got the rest of it.
I would definitely do it in person. Yeah, like it's a waste of an episode. If you're like Jeremy's always like, I already know thumbs down.
That's good. Just heard.
He's like,
oh, so good. Oh.
Yeah, just get like an app that like when you tip it, it like dumps into it. Green screen it.
I'm drunk.
Yeah. Just get it. Yeah, don't put it in a non-clear glass and.
Right.
Yep. I don't.
So we're what? So we're at 1 pal out of 3.
1 out of 3 pals.
I mean, I guess if you had Mike, I'm half. Yeah.
Yeah, you and Mike. Yeah, that's a.
Yeah, we add us together.
Right? So 1 pal out of 3.
Mike would try it. He said if he'd order
I drank quite a bit of it. This was full, so I drank quite a bit.
Compared to mine, I mean.
Well, but the other half of it went into another glass, and I gave it to my wife before we started. So.
It smells so good, though. I mean, I think
it does smell really good. Yeah.
That's why I think it smells like. It smells like what strawberry or what the red or the pink Starbursts taste like.
You know how disappointing that strawberry smoothie we had in Cincinnati would have been if it tastes like this.
Right.
Like, it smelled phenomenal. It had that weird
IPA.
Taste to it. Yeah.
Like I love blackberries. That's one of the reasons I picked this up.
Which is just tart, sour to begin with, yeah.
Right. But it's interesting because the blackberry IPA that Perrin makes
that's good though.
Isn't. I mean, it is a bit tart for an IPA.
Yes. And I like that too, and I don't like IPAs or sours, and that's like a sour IPA.
Yes. Yeah, I'll give it that.
Alrighty, well, wow, he can't even cheers.
I do like sours, so maybe I'm moving towards the thumbs up. Maybe just I do like it. I mean,
that's like the first beer you finished on a podcast, so
right.
That's saying something.
That's the first beer I've not finished on a podcast.
That's true.
It's not the first beer. The other beer that you had like
Motor.
Oh, that's true. That the heavy where I just got pretending to drink, just like this one.
You were super excited for it too, and then your glass was tainted.
So bummed out. Well, that being said,
all right. Alrighty. Thanks for tuning in. Go have a pint with your pals.
Please drink responsibly.
And like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord. Let us know you want us to drink, and give us a rating on this beer.
Sours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Find us sours that you guys think we might like. Yeah. Don't do that. I don't want to drink any more sours.
Cheers.
Cheers.